Friends, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see about IR spectroscopy, which is the next spectroscopic technique in identifying organic compounds. In the earlier videos, we have seen what is meant by electromagnetic spectrum and how the first electromagnetic radiation, namely the radio waves, are useful in NMR technique. In the entire electromagnetic spectrum, the infrared region lies between radio waves and UV visible. That means infrared rays are more energetic than radio waves and less energetic than the UV visible. The energy of infrared rays will be around 3 into 10 to the power of 11 to 4 into 10 to the power of 14 Hz. The source of infrared rays is Nernst Glower, which is a well-known source of infrared rays. Next, let us see what is the working principle of IR spectra or how IR spectra is generated. As we all know that organic compounds are made up of molecules, molecules are made up of atoms, and atoms are connected together through covalent bonds. Each bond is vibrating at a certain frequency. Each bond is vibrating at a certain frequency. We give energy in the form of IR rays which have a certain frequency. When these two frequencies, namely the vibrating frequency as well as the IR frequency, these two frequencies match, the molecule or the bond will absorb the energy from the infrared rays and it will start vibrating at a higher frequency level. The amount of transmitted light or the amount of absorption when it is plotted against the wave number, we get IR spectra. This vibrating frequencies will be different for different moieties present in the molecule. Next, let us see the condition for a molecule to be IR active. The first condition is the molecule should have a dipole moment. The dipole moment should not be zero. That means the molecule whichever is undergoing IR spectra or whichever should be IR active should have electronegativity difference. Say for example the carbonyl compound, carbonyl moiety, in that the carbon always will have a partial positive charge and the oxygen will have a partial negative charge. That means there is an electronegativity difference between these two atoms. If this condition persists, then only the molecule will be IR active. The another condition is the molecule should not have any symmetry elements, namely the plane of symmetry or the center of symmetry. If any symmetry element is present in the molecule will be IR inactive. Next, let us see the important applications of IR spectroscopy. The IR spectroscopy ranges from 4000 centimeter inverse to 400 centimeter inverse, that is the IR range. This entire IR range can be further subdivided into two ranges, namely the functional group region and the fingerprint region. The functional group region ranges from 4000 to 1500 centimeter inverse and the fingerprint region ranges from 1500 to 400 centimeter inverse. The functional group region, mainly all the functional groups in the organic compounds, namely the hydroxy compounds, NH2, carbonyl compounds, all these functional groups will be identified in the functional group region. The fingerprint region, coming to the fingerprint region, the definition is every compound whichever undergoes IRs, Next comes the fingerprint region. What is meant by a fingerprint? Fingerprint is an identity for any human being. No two human beings will have the same fingerprints in the world. Similarly, every organic compound will have a specific pattern of IR spectra in this fingerprint region. No two compounds will be identical in this region. So that is why this region is known as the fingerprint region. The important application of this fingerprint region is we can monitor the reaction. We can monitor the progress of a reaction conversion using IR spectra in this particular region. Suppose, for example, if a compound A is converted to B. So when during this course of the reaction, during the initial stage, when A remains as such, the IR spectra will be characteristic of A only in this fingerprint region. And when A is converted to B, once the conversion process is over, the entire spectral pattern will be different and it corresponds to B. During the course of the reaction, it will be a mixture of the pattern. IR pattern will be a mixture of both A and B. So this is a very important application of IR spectroscopy. Next comes, as we said already, IR spectroscopy is mainly dependent on vibrations. There are several different types of vibrations which a molecule can undergo during the during IR spectroscopy. What are the different types of vibrations? Mainly, vibrations can be divided into two main divisions, namely stretching and bending. And the stretching vibrations can be further subdivided into asymmetric stretch and symmetric stretch. And the bending vibrations can be further subdivided into two categories, namely in-plane bending and out-of-plane bending. In this, in-plane bending can be further subdivided as scissoring and rocking, and out-of-plane bending can be divided into wagging and twisting. The definition for these terms and how this can be visualized and some more interesting factors about IR spectroscopy will be discussed in the next lecture. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel.